Author's Note. This is a memoir of my time in Alaska and the life lessons I learned during that adventure. The stories are based on a diary and recorded tapes I kept at the time, and are my interpretation of our life and experiences there. In some cases, I have taken literary license by changing names and certain identifying descriptions, such as gender, age, places of residence, family relationships, and diagnoses, to preserve anonymity. Reference or similarity to any real persons, either living or deceased, depicted in this memoir, or as the result of any changes made, is unintentional and purely coincidental. Specifically, no harm is intentionally directed at anyone. Several phrases and words used in Alaska are specific to life in the far north and frequently differ from those used to indicate the same meaning in the continental United States. For example, except for Hawaii, the remaining 48 states in our country, outside of Alaska, are commonly referred to as the lower 48. And snowmobiles, such as Arctic cats and ski-doos, are snow machines in Alaska. Muktuk is Eskimo food that consists of frozen whale skin and blubber, and an umiak is an Eskimo boat made of dried reindeer skin stretched across a frame of seasoned wood. Throughout my memoir, I refer to the many loving people we lived and worked with in the Arctic as Eskimo. Some may believe Inuit is a more appropriate term, and denoting these people as Eskimo might be insensitive. During our time in the Arctic, the native population was known as Eskimo. That is how the people referred to themselves then, and how they proudly refer to themselves today. According to the University of Alaska in Fairbanks and the Alaska Native Language Center, most Alaskans prefer the term Eskimo because Inuit refers only to the Inupiat population of northern Alaska, the Inuit people of Canada, and the Kalallit people of Greenland. It does not refer to people of Alaska as a whole. Even the word Inuit is not of Alaskan origin. It does not come from the Yupik languages of Alaska and Siberia, where Eskimo people are believed to have originated. I would never say, write, or imply anything insensitive or deprecating about Eskimo people, for they are the kindest, sweetest, gentlest people I have ever known. Part 1. Adjustments. Happiness comes from some curious adjustment to life. Hugh Walpole. Chapter 1. The first time I saw a kid die, he was staring straight into my eyes. I didn't know the boy well, but that didn't matter. My remorse was so intense, my sadness so profound, I knew I could trade places with him at any moment and regret, not a second, the consequences of my decision. It wasn't that I was unfamiliar with death, for as a physician, I'd dealt with it since the moment I made that first slice into my cadaver and inhaled my first whiff of formaldehyde. But I was his physician, his doctor, and watching him lie there, slipping away moment by moment, powerless to do anything for him, tore at my heart until my spirit felt as dead as his. Even now, recalling that cold Arctic night, to think back on it, to talk about it, is like opening a crypt, seeing again images burned into my mind that time has failed to erase. Late November, 1971, Nome, Alaska. I was dead asleep when I first registered the pounding on the door of our government-issued mobile home. Anesthetized in part by the day's travel, and in part by the sedation I'd been given in Anchorage for the vasectomy I'd just suffered through, I first thought the racking noise was the onset of a migraine. It wasn't until my wife spoke that I realized someone was hammering on our front door, and my night was about to blow apart. I was in pain. Hours before, I had downed a hefty slug of Crown Royal and 2 Percodans to ease my misery. I prayed the self-administered cocktail of booze and pills would get me through the night. "What is it now?" Pat mumbled through chapped lips. "Can't they leave us alone for just one night?" "Never mind, I'll get it," I whispered. "Go back to sleep."